Sarah was 35 years old the morning she stopped recognizing herself. It wasn't dramatic. There was no breakdown, no crisis moment, no rock bottom. It was a Tuesday, a completely ordinary Tuesday when she walked past the bathroom mirror on the way to make lunches, and something made her stop. She looked at the woman looking back at her. Dark circles, hair pulled into a bun she hadn't chosen. It had just happened, like so many things in her life lately. A coffee stain on the sleeve of a shirt she didn't remember buying, eyes that looked tired. Not sleepy tired, the other kind. Who are you? She thought, and the woman in the mirror had no answer. Sarah had a good life, she knew that, and she felt guilty for knowing it wasn't enough. She had a job she was good at, a marketing manager role she'd worked hard for. She had 2 kids she loved fiercely. She had a husband who was, by every measure, a good man. She had a house with a kitchen island she'd saved for, a book club she never had time to read for, and a group chat full of friends she kept meaning to actually see. She had built a beautiful life. The problem was she had built it entirely around everyone else. Every decision she had made for the past decade had started with a question: what does everyone need from me? Never once had she asked, what do I need? She had spent so long being everything to everyone that she had slowly, quietly become nothing to herself. The shift started small, the way real shifts always do. Her daughter, Maya, was 8 years old when she asked Sarah a question that would change everything. They were driving home from school, the radio off, the silence comfortable the way only a parent and child can be. "Mom," Maya said, "what's your favorite thing to do, like just for you?" Sarah opened her mouth to answer, and nothing came out. She tried again. She cycled through a list in her head. Cooking? Now, she cooked because everyone had to eat. Exercise? She did it to manage stress, not because she loved it. Reading? She fell asleep after 2 pages. Nothing on the list felt like hers. "I'm not sure, baby," she finally said. Maya nodded seriously, the way 8-year-olds do when they've stumbled onto something bigger than they understand. "You should probably find out," she said, and went back to looking out the window. That night, after the kids were in bed and the kitchen was clean, Sarah sat down with a journal she hadn't opened in 4 years and wrote a single question at the top of an empty page. "Before I became everything to everyone, who was I?" She sat with that question for a long time, and slowly, like water finding cracks in stone, memories started coming back. She used to paint. Not well, nothing gallery-worthy, but she had loved it. Saturday mornings with cheap acrylics and absolute silence. She used to dance in the kitchen to music no one else liked. She used to have opinions, strong ones, about books and politics and the way people should treat each other. She used to be loud about who she was. When had she gotten so quiet? You don't lose yourself all at once. You lose yourself one small compromise at a time until one day you look up and don't know where you went. Sarah didn't quit her job. She didn't leave her marriage. She didn't have a dramatic awakening on a mountaintop in Bali. She did something quieter and, in many ways, harder. She bought a small canvas and a set of acrylic paints. She put them on the kitchen table on a Sunday morning. Her husband raised an eyebrow. Her kids immediately tried to touch everything. She said, calmly, clearly, "This is mine. I'm doing this for me." It was the first time in years she had said those words out loud. "This is mine." The painting she made that morning was terrible, truly, genuinely bad. Colors that didn't blend right, proportions that made no sense. She photographed it and kept the photo on her phone, not because it was beautiful, because it was hers. That was the morning Sarah began the slow, patient, necessary work of finding her way back to herself. It didn't happen overnight. It took months of small choices, saying no to the things that drained her, even when it felt selfish, saying yes to herself, even when it felt strange. She started asking herself in small daily moments, what do I actually want here? And then she would try to honor that answer, even if just a little. She noticed something unexpected. The people around her didn't fall apart when she took up space. Her kids didn't suffer because she painted on Sunday mornings. Her husband didn't resent the evenings she spent doing things she loved. Her team at work didn't lose respect for her when she held boundaries. In fact, the opposite happened. As Sarah became more herself, she became better at everything else. Not because self-care is a productivity hack, but because a woman who knows who she is a woman who shows up fully, for herself and for everyone she loves. You cannot pour from a cup you've never filled for yourself. We are taught, women especially, that to be good is to give, to be loving is to sacrifice, to be strong is to never need anything. And so we give and give until one morning we look in the mirror and don't recognize the woman staring back. But here's the truth no one tells you. Taking care of yourself is not selfish. It is the foundation of everything. You are allowed to have a self. You are allowed to have desires, opinions, hobbies, dreams, things that belong to you and no one else. You are allowed to take up space in your own life. And if you've lost yourself somewhere along the way, in the roles you play, in the needs you meet, in the life you built, know this: you are not gone. You are just waiting for yourself to come back. Start small. Ask the question, buy the canvas, dance in the kitchen, say, "This is mine," and mean it. The woman in the mirror is waiting to meet you. It's never too late to become who you were before the world told you who to be.